Hello and welcome to Spot Show, an independent podcast with a few pit stops along the way. I am your host, Jim Minton, Dickie Wabash. Joining me, as always, formerly fabulous Jason V. And we have got a lot of stuff that we want to dive into here today.
I don't know how I feel about the as always, but I guess I'll lean into it.
I mean, I think we're as always at this point. This is three in a row that you've been consistently the co-host. So
I've been on here more than Oliver now.
Ooh, I may need to break that down. Winning. That might be true. That might actually be true. I don't know. But listen, I'm glad you're here because there's a few things that we need to discuss. Not that we really need to, but a lot of stuff that we really should discuss because there's been a lot going on here in our worlds, whether it be right in our sphere or on the tertiary world. You like that word, don't you?
That's a $5 word right there. That's an Eric Loy special
word. Is that the denomination that you say when you say a big word, a $5 word?
That's what Eric Loy always said. Okay. So that's what I just kind of adopted.
Okay, that's fine. So I have a bone to pick with one Jason Frederick vendetta.
Uh-oh.
And we're just going to get into it. We're going to get into it straight out the gate. It has become very apparent to me. And I had this realization yesterday. I told you this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, brother, I know where we're going. Got it.
Brother, I don't think we line up on taste in anything, to be 100% blunt with you.
Well, speaking of taste, out of respect to you, the listeners, to Kid Riot, because he called me out on it, I waited. I picked up some drive-thru on the way home, 4 for $10 Arby's roast beef, and I decided, hey, I'm going to go and eat all of these now before I go on the podcast. So I did that out of respect to all of you. Also, I got a full belly. I'm kind of tired.
That had nothing to do with what I just said.
You said taste.
I'm talking. Look, I do love me a good Arby's. I will not fight you on that one. I do love me a good Arby's. You watched a movie that I came on this very podcast and I talked about how good it was. And everyone is talking about how good it is. I'm, of course, talking about Backrooms, Kane Parsons' debut masterpiece, Backrooms. You watched it and you did not like it. Elaborate.
So the collective opinion from everybody is it's amazing, right?
It's pretty out there that this movie.
My collective opinion on everybody is that everybody is stupid because this movie was stupid. Like, what do people love it because it's so low budget and it's not a big CGI Michael Bay boom boom big robot big explosion kind of thing? Is it because it's simplified? Because the whole budget, I don't know what the actors cost. Mark Duplass showed up near the end. I popped for that. That was cool. He was half the budget, I bet, because he was in a TV show once, so he's probably worth a little bit of money. But nothing else. There was no set dressing. There was no other name actors. There was just, hey, here's a big empty room. What's there? All right. I don't know. I did not vibe with it. It was just the things that were supposed to be like terrifying, legitimately terrifying. I laughed. I cackled. I was like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. There's some redheaded business lady that goes, and I just start, it just starts chasing this guy, and he's horrified. And I just thought it looked like Jen from the IT crowd. And one person will understand that reference because I think I'm the only one that understands British sitcoms,
and I am not that one person that understands that reference.
Person. You are not that one person. You need to. That's a suggestion. Watch the IT crowd. Watch the IT crowd. Maybe a little bit of Mighty Boosh. That's situational.
Here is where film snob Dickie enters the chat. Everything that you said, I really do feel like is a very good criticism. I do truly believe that a lot of the hype around this movie is just simply because it's Kane Parsons. He is coming in here 20 years old at the time of directing. This is his first ever movie. And I think that we're entering a space in time where people are ready for the changing of the guard in Hollywood. And that is what we are seeing with Kane Parsons, with Curry Barker, with a lot of this stuff. Now, my reasoning for liking the movie is not that. I do not look at it as a middle finger to big Hollywood or anything like that. When I look at a movie, I'm about the vibe, brother. I'm about the vibe. I'm about the actors. I'm about two actors just in a room talking to each other and acting their asses off. The scene where he's in the therapist office and they're doing the role play of the night that he got divorced from his wife, and he's like, I am a fucking architect. And like that scene to me was so powerful. That scene to me was so, I loved it so much. I loved the acting in it. I loved the vibe of this movie. Every single frame of this movie felt liminal to me, and it felt nostalgic, and it really hit that nostalgic vein, brother. And I will openly admit that I might be blinded a little bit by that, but it is not playing a huge role into why I loved that movie. I adored that movie. It's one of the best movies I've seen this year. And I'm an A24 fanboy, man. I wave the A24 flag loud and proud. You walk into my living room, you see a huge A24 poster. But A24's put out some stinkers, in my opinion. So I don't think that just because it's got A24 on it, that it's going to be immediately a masterpiece. It helps, in my personal opinion, because I know the vibe that they go with. But no, man, I also think too that, and this is the discussion, you just have different taste in horror than I do.
I do my best to like good movies. I know that's a crazy concept. Well, not horror, but you mentioned nostalgia. And if you wanted nostalgia, I mean, if you're 40 plus, you could watch Masters of the Universe. I actually watched the correct one this time. Not master singular, but this was plural. There was more than one master, which, I mean, is that possible? Is it? I don't know. I don't know what the ranking in the universe is, because can you have more than one master? What's above master? Deity? Not sure. Anyway, the movie was fun. Okay, that one, it's going to be a tougher rewatch, I do think, but there was a whole lot of the Leo DiCaprio. Ooh, I understand that. That's the thing.
And that's fine. That.
You got Beast Man, you got Trapjaw, you got He-Man, you got Tila, you got Man at Arms and all that stuff. There's a scene where Idris Elba as Man at Arms is shaving with a knife, and every time it cuts back to him, he has different levels of beard. But sometimes it's not. I don't know.
Is it like grown sometimes, and then it's like shorter, and then it's
like he's got like a bit of a bushy beard, and then he goes to start shaving. It cuts away, cuts back, and he's got like a bigger beard. It seems maybe it was just the way I watched it. I don't know.
Have you seen Kung Pao?
Yeah, I love
Chosen One. I'm coming. Chosen One.
And then it cuts back. Then it cuts back. We actually did a bit like that when we were over in LA. We did a Baywatch video, and it just loops the whole time of us just running on the beach, never getting to the person to save.
I absolutely adore that.
But but yeah, just the different levels of beard. It's like 1 second goes by and then the entire beard is gone, just the mustache left. I was like, you cannot do that quick. You don't have superpowers. You're just a soldier. But anyway, that's a hot take that I don't think that's not a hot take. That is a take that nobody else will have, but I'm one for continuity, really. I like when the orange juice on the table is the same height in the glass in between takes.
Oh, do you look for that stuff?
I look for that stuff.
I do kinda, but I don't let it take me out of a movie. Now, here's my major question. Is you just straight up said, if you have nostalgia, you'll like it.
Mm-hmm. You'll like 2/3 of it.
Okay.
But you also need to have the source information.
But you just answered my question before I could. V is fighting with his cat currently.
That's right. She doesn't have any respect.
She should have respect for the process.
Everything's falling apart. All right, so with the nostalgia bit, so
yeah, because my question is, I have zero nostalgia for He-Man. Never watched it a single day in my life. Would I enjoy this movie?
I don't know. Maybe there's okay. So it's I know how you feel about this. So it's a thing that I learned from my friend Holloway. But it's a thing that if you take current stuff and then you are telling a story about I don't know how many years ago, it's called dating the pros. And so you're taking somebody, if you're telling a story about World War II and then you say, just hop on TikTok and check it out. Well, okay, now I'm not in World War II era anymore. I'm in the 2020s. I'm trying to figure that out here. And so it just kind of takes people off their game a second. And so that's kind of bad to do. And this movie is 2/3 from the 80s. Cool. That's good because He-Man was big in the 80s. Yeah. But the other third is very 2020s social politics, the he, him, the pronoun game in general. He's working in HR, so he has to speak in a very specific way about de-escalate the situation and things of that nature.
So
and
Oliver,
that's going to be a little tough here in 20 years if we don't continue on that path.
Oliver said that in a way they're kind of making fun of that.
It is. It walks the line between sincerity and satirical, if nothing else. It walks that line, and I'm hating it. And I'm like, oh, this is not a movie I want to watch. And then it starts going the other way. I'm like, oh, wait, this is a parody. Oh, no, it's sincere. It's both. It's sincere and a parody of that culture. So maybe that's the get out of jail free card. I don't know.
What did I watch recently where I realized, oh my God, this is a parody? I do not remember, but there was something definitely that I watched where I was like, oh my goodness, I am fully aware of what they're doing now. They're parodying this. And I love that. But you go into the nostalgia thing. For me personally, I have no nostalgia for He-Man, but the Backrooms, it takes place in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I have that 90s aesthetic, that 90s vibe, that liminal vibe. That's what I love. There was recently a picture. I saw it. It was either on Reddit or Facebook or no, I'll tell you exactly where it was. So you're not on Facebook, so you don't know this, but sometimes you'll get recommended posts from public groups that you can join. And one of them.
Yeah, I did. I'm very well aware. Holloway and I had a deep talk about one of those public groups. Maybe that's a paid show thing. Or maybe we don't talk about that.
No, I'm talking about that. I do not care.
All right.
I'll change names if I have to.
All right.
But no, so
Mr. Summer.
So Rook Summer.
Mark Summers from Double Dare. That was him. That's who we're talking about.
Oh,
Anyway,
I love it.
what are we doing?
So we're talking about, like, I got recommended this liminal space page on Facebook, and it was a picture of a mall that is here in town, not the mall, not the one that you know. It's another mall that I guarantee you've never been to, but there's a basement to it, and it's essentially a dead mall, whatever. And the picture was so liminal, and it was so great, and it's like, that's the vibe that I love. I'm going to tell you a vibe.
That's like Wienerworks in Danville. Wienerworks, they had all the 90s things and all the very, very local things that we had in Danville. They had, and so they would have like Kmart, but then you push the little button, it says blue light special on aisle 5.
Dude, don't even get me started. Like, I miss that. Like, I know that we shouldn't be talking about Christmas in July, but I'm going to tell you a vibe that I chase to this day. Are
you John Bernthal again?
And let me tell you something, man. Tell me that Christmas shopping in the late 90s was not the greatest vibe on planet Earth. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was doing it then.
Yeah.
It was I don't know, the late 2000s when I stopped buying people Christmas.
Yeah.
When
so here's another thing too.
Stop doing all that stuff.
This is
you didn't go
on
this trip. I did.
Yeah. This is kind of pertinent info too. V is 8 years older than me. So if we're talking the late 90s, I'm not even 10 yet. So you're probably you're 17, 18.
Yeah.
Around that time. So it's a different vibe for you. But, like, you know, let's talk about 98. You know, going to Hills or
that's right. Hills was my jam.
Oh, Hills was awesome.
I got all kinds of action figures, some Star Wars and some Spawn and X-Men toys, and I still got them, and they're in the closet right on the other side of this camera.
Yeah,
still got them all there, but they all have that little Hills tag on them. But my mom was hooking me up. She's in the layaway department.
Quick little sidebar here.
Always.
This Sandman figure that's sitting right here,
yeah,
it has a KB Toys price tag on it.
Nice.
When I buy a toy, I've talked about this before, I want to recollect the toys that I had as a kid, but I want to buy them in the box. If it has a price tag on it from that time period, it's an instant buy for me.
Really?
And yes, I love that.
That dropped the potential price for a lot of things.
It's in the eye of the beholder.
All right.
I live for that. But
I might have some money over here then. I just got to get the motivation to do something with it.
I'm not saying that all collectors are like me, but it helps me make my decision if I see something with a tag on it. But dude, one of the best gifts that I have ever been given, and I love Michael Madrox. This is why I love him so much. Among other reasons, when I was at one of my down horrendous lowests, he bought me one of my Grail toys, and it's a mummy playset with Brendan Fraser. You've seen it. You've been in my house.
That was Christmas, wasn't it?
It was technically, I think it was a Christmas gift for me. Yeah. And then I got him an ICP Riddle Box poster, but it definitely, the scales tipped in his favor on that Christmas.
He won that round.
Yeah, he did. But it's one of the key selling points is that he said, brother, when I saw this and I saw that it had I think it's Toys R Us. It's either KB Toys or Toys R Us. It's one of them. He said, when I saw that it had that price tag, he said, I had to buy it for you. He said, I was going to buy it for you anyway. He said, but when I saw this one had the price tag on it, he said, I was going to buy it for you immediately. And I think that that's part of the reason, because trust me, we're not getting off the rails here because I know exactly where I'm going here. That's why the Backrooms scratched an itch for me. Is when you go into Captain Clark's Ottoman Empire and you see discounts and you see just this vibe of this 90s furniture store and all that, it brings me back to like walking through the mall at Christmas and like Christmas sale, 25% off the entire store. And dude, I think that add that to the fact that I loved the story of the movie, add that to the fact that it hit that nostalgia, boom. I mean, I think it was just the perfect storm for me to just fall in love with that movie.
I like that. Good. And so personally, that is a thing that I really do enjoy. I like when somebody has a different opinion than me, because then we can have some conversation. I've talked on the past, I think it was a paid show, so if you didn't pay $5, you didn't hear it. But it's just one of those, like with my sales route, I meet people from all different walks of life, all different races, creeds, colors, religions, everything. And I love hearing their stories. I want to know what it's like over there or what it's like in your world. And so in this situation, I respect that. I still didn't like the movie. Maybe I will one day if I ever decide to rewatch. But I was watching, and I first of all, my ADD was going hard. I could not stay focused. That whole therapist scene you mentioned, I don't think I saw that. I was literally anywhere else in the world. Like maybe I was up in the cosmos, loading the spaceship with the rocket fuel. I don't know where I was, but I was like, what are you doing? But I just let you talk. I was like, I bet it's in there. It's probably there. Don't know.
Yeah.
But it was an A24 movie. So I went in, actually, in that one, I had some high hopes.
We're going to get into the movie that you had good opinions on, because we're about to flip the script here.
Flip it.
Because that's the beauty. That's why this, dude, if we agreed on everything, this podcast would suck. You got to have differing opinions. There was an A24.
That was my favorite thing between you and Madrox, because you and I may be on different pages. You and him were on different books.
Oh, dude.
And you would do the thing and be like, "Oh, did you watch this new movie? It was great. It was awesome.
Nope.
I want to get your opinion." No, buddy. Oh, that's it? You're just leaving me? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Got them goats, man. I want to see the Madrox goats too. I ain't seen those.
I've seen the goats. They're pretty cool.
But anyway, but yeah, that was one of my favorite parts that you guys would do.
But if we agreed with each other, this wouldn't be a good podcast. It'd be a very bad podcast. So then let's flip the script here. Now, granted, my dislike of this movie was not as intense as your dislike of the Backrooms, but I was very lukewarm mid on the movie The Drama.
Okay.
You loved it.
I did. I sent the
elaborate.
I sent the review to you. I screenshot. I'm not on the Letterboxd thing, so my stuff
should be.
It's not public. It's not for everybody. It's mainly because I got a feeling I'm going to have early onset Alzheimer's, and I'm going to forget a lot of the things that I've done and said and enjoyed and all that. And I don't know how many times I've watched a movie and I'm like, oh man, I've already seen this and I hated it. Why am I halfway through it again? That sort of thing. So I had started the IMDb gimmick where I just kind of I put down the movie, I tell my opinions on it, just quick off the cuff, just whatever I thought about as soon as I finished it. And I watched The Drama. It was an A24 movie. That was the one that I was like, man, I don't really know if this is going to be my thing, because I don't know. I liked X. Pearl was fine. I don't really know if I liked any other A24 movies. I could have and not realize that they were A24. Hereditary was, maybe I'm broken, because I only really liked Hereditary for that one scene, and I, again, cackled like a madman. That was so funny. But, so all of these things is working against it, but Robert Pattinson is in it, and Zendaya. I think this one showed that Zendaya is a decent actress.
Yeah,
she's always been kind of that one character.
I think she's a terrible MJ.
Oh yeah,
I think she's a terrible.
She's
Mary
Michelle
Jane.
Jones. She's not Mary Jane. So
okay,
who knows?
God
okay, I don't know if that. Maybe
I think
that mattered. I don't know.
She's not very good in Euphoria. I don't think she didn't carry Euphoria, in my opinion, even though she was the main character. She just wasn't. I've been very vocal about my dislike of Zendaya. I just think that she's mid as an actress, but she was good in The Drama.
She was. And as I said last week, that Robert Pattinson does the descent into madness very, very well.
I said that
And
too. I agree.
So when I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, I get this. And I also not only understand, but I appreciate you not giving that big hook about, well, this girl, locked up this kid in a closet, and this guy hid behind his girlfriend with a dog, and then there was a cyberbully, and then Zendaya just drops a nuke. And it's like, okay, well, what's the nuke? And I will tell you that nuke was a nuke.
Yeah.
I'm watching and I'm like, oh, I don't know what I thought she was gonna say. Maybe
I had that same revelation.
She accidentally hit somebody with her car when she was texting or something, whatever.
And it was a hit and run or something like that. So, I mean, the movie's been out long enough. Spoilers. Zendaya's character planned a school shooting and was going to follow through with it. And it creates this whole big thing. That's what I think that, you know what, Brian? You might be changing my opinion on the drama.
I loved it.
I think it's a little bit better than mid. I may need to do a rewatch on that one.
I got a copy if you need it.
Maybe.
But no, like I said, I loved it. And I talked to you right after the movie was over. And I was like,
literally seconds after you finished it, I think you texted me.
Yeah, we finished the movie. And first of all, Cara was pleased. She really liked it. It had enough pieces of that romantic comedy kind of like disgusting, like Reese Witherspoon type of movie, but with like a little edge to it. It's the stuff that she likes to watch. And so that kept her quiet for a couple hours. That was cool. But I finished it and I'm like, man, like halfway through, especially after this big revelation about Zendaya and how she went through these issues in her youth and everything. And I was like, man, I just wanted to go to her and just give her a hug and tell her everything's going to be okay. Like you're better now. Because, and again, the thing I told you was just like in Batman, the Joker, his whole gimmick was it's like one bad day can change somebody's life. And this movie kind of proved the opposite. Not doing that bad thing and then having somebody support you and having a compliment, because really that's what it was. She just has a compliment at the right time. Yeah. And from what I understand, it was just some stranger, some random in a group. She's give her a hug. And so then it moved her to the other side of that board where she became anti-gun and anti this and anti that. And so she was on one side wholeheartedly and then jumped to the other side because she saw the error of her ways.
It reminds me of that after school special story that teachers would always tell as a do not bully PSA of the kid's carrying all of his books home from the school bus and he's having a hard time. And the jock sees that he's troubled. And he's like, oh, you need help carrying those, buddy? And then he helps him carry them. And then it's like you find out the reason that he was carrying all of his books home is because he was about to unalive himself. And he didn't want his mom to worry about having to clean out his locker. We all heard that story. And it's not true. It's one of those, like I said, it's a after school special, but they kind of take that concept and they made essentially a 2-hour movie out of it. Now, here's my question to you, because I'm very curious your take on this. Was Robert Pattinson overreacting?
No. He wasn't overreacting. I think he didn't understand himself, because certain times he's sitting there and he's freaking out, as one would be. If she was going to do that then, is she going to do it now? She was just cutting up fruit for a smoothie, but now she's got the knife and she's looking at me. Is she gonna stab me? I don't know. Is this the person that I fell in love with? I'm not sure who she is now. And I understand that, because it's the, you thought you knew concept. But then the other side is he's genuinely empathetic. And he's like, no, it's going to be okay. I love you. I want to be with you. We're going to get through it. And it's tough because just like with humanity, you're going to bounce from one side to the other. you can be in a situation, and you, to a much smaller degree, you just did it. You were like, oh, okay, yeah, it's a good 5 out of 10, just a mid, just another thing, just a little popcorn flick, watch it, no big deal. But then after a while, you're like, wait, it might have been better than that. So you've kind of flipped a little bit on that, and now do it with something that's actually important, a job, a loved one, anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to flip right into this, reminding everyone that this is, of course, Spot Show Podcast. Each and every week, Jason V and I get together and we talk about whatever it is that we want to talk about. If you like what we're doing here, you can, of course, go on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios. Back us at the $5 tier there. You're going to get all of our content early and ad-free, as well as some exclusive stuff. You can't beat that deal with a stick. For less than a cup of coffee, you can help keep the microphones on and the envelopes full. You can also go to madbashstudios.com. There you can find links to all of our social media. Go follow us on YouTube. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. Go follow us on Facebook. Go to your favorite podcasting platform. Leave us a 5-star written review. That's a really good way to support us. We've been uploading reels and shorts lately to the YouTube channel and to the Facebook. Go check those out. Give you a little bite-sized taste of what we got going on here on Spot Show. Some dates and plug skis for you. It is official. Literally the day of the recording, an hour ago, it was officially announced MadBash Wrestling is returning to Marshall, Illinois for MadBash Wrestling Presents Ruthless. You are going to want to check this out. August 29th, we are going to be back in the Clark County American Legion Post 90. We're going to be right there for some good old-fashioned MadBash Wrestling action. You don't want to miss it. If you want to see what MadBash Wrestling was up to before this, you can, of course, go to our YouTube channel. Their Event Horizon is available. The ad-free version is, of course, available on the Patreon at the $10 tier. And then the ad-free version of Gang Wrestles for the Troops is also available on the $10 tier. The full version of that will be up on the YouTube in the coming weeks. So you can get all of that if you're on the Patreon, but if you're not on the Patreon, you are about to hear a word from our sponsors. This episode of Spot Show Podcast is brought to you by Big Red Soda. Let's be honest, wrestling fans are a little different. We spend hours debating matches from 20 years ago, drive hundreds of miles for shows in buildings that may or may not have functioning air conditioning, and somehow we consider that a good weekend. Big Red gets it. Big Red has been doing its own thing since 1937, delivering a flavor that's completely unique and impossible to forget. Grab an ice cold Big Red. Support the sponsors that support independent. And we're going to sweeten the pot for you. Any MadBash Wrestling event that you go to until September 2026, any purchase at the merch table, doesn't matter what it is, a sticker, a shirt, a pin, a poster, you are going to get a free bottle of Big Red on us. Thank you again to Big Red for sponsoring Independent. This episode is brought to you by patreon.com/MadBash Studios. If you head on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios, you are helping fund the definition of independent. Hundreds of hours of content starting at just $5 a month. You are going to get early, ad-free access to everything that MadBash Studios has to offer, on top of exclusive shows starting at just $5 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee a month. You can go on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios and you can support the dream of being unapologetically creative. So we just had a pretty good discussion about movies, I think. And boy, Jason V, you made a botch last week when talking about movies.
Botched it. Botched toe.
And I kind of botched it along with you because I think I was half paying attention when you said it, because I was looking for a link for something when you said it and I just agreed with you. Continue.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Sorry, guys. Also, is your air conditioning work? Because mine is not working.
What does that got to do?
No, it's just because I am the sweatiest I've ever been in my life, and I once wrestled Bear St. Pierre for 45 minutes.
Oh,
anyway,
my God.
My botch from last week was I said that the shock kill scene of Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can. And that's completely the wrong movie. It wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio gets shot in a closet in Catch Me If You Can. It was, first of all, that's a Tom Hanks movie. So I don't think that's his style, other than maybe Saving Private Ryan. Tom Hanks is in that, right? Am I going to botch a botch?
Tom Hanks is
cool.
in
Thank
Saving
you.
Private Ryan.
Cinephile Dickie saving my skin. But it was in The Departed when Leonardo DiCaprio got shot in a shock kill scene out of an elevator. Totally different thing. Completely different thing. So apologies to everybody.
And as I said, I was like half paying attention when you said it. Like all I heard was like that shock Leonardo DiCaprio death. And I was looking something up and I'm like, oh yeah. But yeah, man. Thank you for holding yourself accountable. I'm holding myself accountable and openly admitting I was half paying attention when you said it. I probably would have called you out on it had I been paying.
It would have been nice if you would have, because then I didn't have to wait for a week to go ahead and, I don't know, rectify the situation.
I have a funny Departed story. When I went to Boston, which is of course where they filmed that movie, we walked along the Freedom Trail. Boston. We walked along the Freedom Trail and we were hitting all this stuff. And there was this guy that just like started talking, and we thought that he was like a tour guide that was a part of the Freedom Trail, but he really wasn't. He was just a dude that was hanging out. And he's like, you walk that way, you go up to Bunker Hill. And he goes, if you look out this direction, you'll see the bridge from The Departed. If you look across that way, he goes, if you look across that way, you'll see the high school that I graduated from. I used to smoke pot with all the teachers there. And it's just whatever. And he was just this old brother that just was hanging out on the Freedom Trail telling stories. And so we go to Bunker Hill and I climb up the monument, which is the most blown up I've ever been in my entire life. And we are walking back, and this guy has got like a group of people around him, and he's just holding court, telling stories. It was awesome. I loved what that guy was doing. No, I'll tell you what it was. I remember now. He had an ice cream cart, and he was selling ice cream. And then he was like lulling people in, like whenever they would buy the ice cream, you could tell that was just a secondary thing for him. He was a storyteller, brother, and he was just there telling stories. But you got to respect that.
You got to keep him satiated. I respect it. I'm with it.
You know what I don't respect though, V?
Uh-oh.
I don't respect people stealing Lego. And then
I didn't realize that I didn't respect that until this morning.
So, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, where have you been if you've not been paying attention to the internet? Bricks and Minifigs, this big controversy. Now, before we get into it, let me just say, because this is something that Bricks and Minifigs would pull, I feel like.
Seems like it.
I'm just an innocent podcast host here, man. My Lego Star Wars sets that I've had those for years. I didn't steal them. So don't try to frame me and say that maybe Dickie Wabash is the one that stole the Lego sets, because that seems like something that they would do. I'm just I'm just calling this like I see it. I just there's been this big thing going on right now with this company called Bricks and Minifigs, who basically sell Lego sets on consignment or outright or whatever. And look, there's plenty of resources where you can go and get the whole story of what's going on here. The best recommendation that I can give everyone, because we're going to be talking about him, is the Reckless Ben series, where he is exploring this whole thing and talking about it. We're just here to give our opinions on it. We're not going to give you a beat for beat what exactly has been going on. There's plenty of other sources out there that are going to give you a better idea of that than we are, but
something with a lot better structure probably, and not just off the cuff speaking of, oh, and this thing happened. Oh, and
then what happened was.
That's right.
So the gist of it here is that, like I said, if you've been paying attention to the internet, you can't avoid this story. It's all over the place. And I will openly admit, I was only like halfway looking into it. It was adjacent to what I was currently paying attention to. And then when it really started to pick up, I was like, there might be something here. I might really want to look into this.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking into this Reckless Ben drama that is going on. And this whole story is just bonkers to me. And I feel like that in a couple of years, we're going to see the Netflix documentary about this.
Man, I was just about to say very similar. I was like, there's definitely going to be one of those Diddy docs about this situation.
But will we see it though? Because I mean, let's be honest here. The
Bricks and Minifigs is not bigger than Diddy. We could see it.
But no, what I'm talking about is the quality of these YouTube videos that can be put out there. I mean, is Netflix going to match that, or is it going to be better than that? I mean, we're getting the Netflix doc in real time right now.
Well, they've made movies in recent years of video games that were in HD, like Until Dawn and everything. Until Dawn was a video game that was a 12-hour movie.
Yeah.
And then they made a movie about it, and then everybody went in there with false hopes, and it was a totally different movie than what they expected. So I think they very well could.
I think Colby Jack hated Until Dawn. I can't remember if he liked it or not, because he's a big fan of the game.
You know who needs to play that? What's the Ben dude's name? Reckless Ben.
Yeah, Reckless Ben.
You know who needs to play him?
Who?
John Heater from Napoleon Dynamite.
So
this dude looks like John Heater.
So in the biopic, when it comes out, John Heater needs to be cast as Reckless Ben.
Yes.
I'm for that.
And you say words that I've only seen written down most of the time, and I don't have enough information to challenge you. I don't know if it's biopic. I always read it as biopic, just like I read John Bernthal, not John Barenthal. He's not the Barenthal Bears, but I need to get with ChatGPT to make that real quick. That's funny, but I just don't have the information. I don't know. I'll take it. It's fine.
So I just Googled, is it biopic or biopic?
Okay.
And according to Google AI, both pronunciations of biopic are widely used, but dictionaries agree on one primary pronunciation: biopic. This is the formally recognized and correct pronunciation by dictionaries like Merriam-Webster and the Oxford English Dictionary. So I'm the one that's in the wrong here, I admit.
Well, well, if both are acceptable, then we can use them both. That's fine. I don't think I'd ever heard it in speech before, and I've derailed everything right now. Just continue on the Lego gimmick.
No, so it's one of those things that I'm not just saying this for the sake of saying this. I feel like that we are witnessing a pivotal moment in society with this whole thing, because listen, this thing goes so much deeper than Lego. There is a police cover-up going on with this as well. The police are actively covering things up with this. And like I stated before I started this, I already owned my Star Wars Lego sets. I did not steal these. I bought them. One of them was a gift. And it is what it is. But my whole thing with this is the level of dedication and the weird way that weird in a good way, mind you, that Reckless Ben has been going after this entire thing, the things that he is thinking to do is next level, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's 3 or 4 steps ahead at the slowest of times. It's insane.
Do you want to know what it is deep down, truly what it is?
I would say it'd be corporate greed.
Well, I'm not talking about that.
Oh,
it is corporate greed, but Reckless Ben is doing essentially weaponized autism. Like hyper focusing on so much of this. And what we're looking at here is what one you just showed me.
What?
The Bernstein Bears first family.
But John Barenthal is all of the Bears.
Oh my
the Barenthal Bears.
Oh, did it say Barenthal Bears? I just misread it. Oh my God. Hey, give me a webcam focus here real quick.
Oh, sorry about that.
Kind of went out of focus on your webcam. There we go.
Probably because it's moist and sweaty.
But anyway, yeah. So we're completely off now.
We're done.
Completely derailed me.
I told you. That's what I do.
But no, I think that essentially what Reckless Ben is doing, as I called it, is weaponized autism, because the shit that he is doing to go out of his way and thinking of this stuff, that's not a regular person mindset. Like, you really gotta like dig into some nitty-gritty stuff to think of the stuff that he is thinking of to do this. It's fascinating to me. And that to me is really more of the story than anything. I mean, yes, there is police corruption. There is all of this going on. But if you look at the stuff that Reckless Ben is doing to like one up these people, that's the bigger story to me, because it's crazy. Like, all these people have to do is just admit that they are in the wrong and give the Lego back, and they're just not doing it. I think one of the most fascinating things that he did in this entire, not really thought experiment, but he was essentially doing to them what they've been doing. Their whole argument is corporate was like, well, we can't control this because it's the franchise doing it. You got to go talk to the franchise. And then they were like, we can't control this. You got to go talk to corporate. And it was just a never ending loop of talk to corporate, talk to franchise, talk to corporate, talk to franchise. So what Reckless Ben does is he essentially makes, there's no essentially to it, he does do it. Reckless Ben makes his own company called We Steal From Old People, and makes the tagline Bricks and Minifigs. And by American law, the tagline does not have to go under the name of the company. You can put it wherever you want. So he makes all these signs and stuff that say Bricks and Minifigs, we steal from old people. And then he franchises out his company and sells it to his friends, so that when they do stuff, they go talk to the one of the corporate guys in charge, and he's like, dude, you can't do this. I'm going to sue you. And then he's like, no, you actually can't. It's my franchisee doing this. And then the guy goes, and you see the guy in real time realize, and he actively says, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. And they have it on camera of him saying, I see what you're doing.
I didn't trust him from the moment I saw him, because he had his arms crossed, all sassy, and he had his stupid Dick Dastardly mustache. He did not seem like he was on the up and up.
Doesn't he strike you as the type of guy that only has that handlebar mustache because he has no personality?
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Boy, we are just riddled with technical difficulties on this one. What is happening here? This is not good. We were really on a roll. Oh boy. I will just sit here and wait until we figure this out. Got a lot of editing to do on this one, Dickie. I'm just trying to get a good short out of this bricks and minifigs conversation, to be honest with everyone here. But then little things keep popping up, and I'm going to have to re-edit and edit around a bunch of things. Okay, so he's officially left now. Let's see if what we got going on here. Okay. Oh. Are we back?
Riddled with problems.
Your webcam quality dropped really low too, down to like 480p for some reason.
Oh, I had to switch it to 480p to get it to connect correctly. I'll switch it back to 720.
Yeah, okay.
I don't have a setting on my end that I see.
Yeah, I think I made that up. I don't think that there actively is a setting. I think that.
All right, let's see. Make sure.
Like mine, I don't have a focus problem with mine. Okay, you're good now. So
okay.
Pick up from where I said this guy's personality is that he has a handlebar mustache, and
I agree. He just needs that thing to talk about. Like when he walks up there, he doesn't have anything interesting to say. He's not that good looking of a dude. But if he's got a funky mustache, well, then he's got something to talk about.
He just sits there like this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I use this. I use this mustache treatment, and I use this mustache wax.
He's got some sort of pomade in his pocket.
Oh, absolutely, he does.
You know it.
And look, I don't feel bad about kind of taking the low road here and just actively talking about how weird these people are, because boy, they are allegedly, we got to put that out there, they're allegedly doing some pretty nasty things. And
that's the piece. That's the piece. It's that corporate runaround that you were talking about, franchise compared to corporate and all that stuff. They do that, and then they're just like, oh, just sue me. Just sue me. Because if you try to sue somebody, you're an individual. Your money's going to run out way before this giant corporation. And I don't know how big Bricks and Minifigs is. They're not Diddy big. We confirmed that. But
may need to rethink that one, brother.
I don't know. There's some my whole closet started shifting. I don't know. I got something going on in here.
Is Diddy in that closet watching you right now?
Could be. R. Kelly was in the closet. Maybe Diddy is too.
And I pull out my Beretta.
But they do that stuff because they know they're going to win. Even just string it out in court, and you're going to run out of money.
And that's the whole thing, is that they're literally telling Reckless Ben, oh, just sue us. Just sue us. Just sue us. And then he ends up taking them to small claims court, because again, these things that Reckless Ben is doing is just next level. Oh my God, this is actually working. I'm going to tell you what it feels like is Nathan For You in real life. And okay, I know that you're not the biggest Nathan For You fan. You've not really watched a lot of it. I've recommended it to you, but it really feels like that he's just doing Nathan For You in real life, and it's actually working for him.
Yeah.
Well, kind of working for him.
Yeah. Near the end of the hour and a half video you sent me, yeah, it's working for him pretty well. It's that gotcha. But maybe apparently there are follow-ups.
There's part,
and there is part 2, but it's locked behind a Patreon. And I just discovered all of this because you sent it to me and told me we would probably talk about it.
It is not locked behind. Part 2 is not at the time. Yes, it was when the video first went out, but now
is it good?
Part 2 is out. Part 2 is where shit really goes wrong.
I haven't seen Part 2.
Yeah, Part 2 is where
because he said it was too much. It was too much for YouTube, so he had to keep it locked behind Patreon.
Yeah, like Part 2 is where the cop corruption starts getting involved. The cops like SWAT him, and they're like trying to figure out charges that they can press against him. And it's crazy. Like that's where it gets really bonkers. But
that's a sad reality, because I mean, think about like a traffic stop. If they know they don't like that guy for some reason, they will find something. All the way back in the 20s. What was it? Dillinger? Is that the right one? Am I going to have to retcon that next week too?
Like a highwayman?
It was they couldn't get him on anything. Was it Al Capone? Is he a real person? What am I?
Yeah, I was a real person.
Okay, so they couldn't get him on any of the illegal activities, so they got him on tax evasion, but they still got him. So they've needed to find something. So that's like in this situation. Well, we know. We don't really have a leg to stand on with what this guy is actually being accused of, but maybe we can get him for this.
And that's essentially what they end up doing in Part 2. So Ben decides that he wants to make a GoFundMe to give all this money back. And that's where they get him, is they get him on the GoFundMe. And all of this body cam footage is public, and it's, so they access it, and it's them. Like a lot of it was redacted, but someone hacked into their system and got the unredacted footage. And you basically hear the cops saying stuff like, so what do we get him on? Well, I mean, I guess we could do the GoFundMe thing. Yeah, I don't really know. I guess we could. And you get the big revelation in Part 2 that a lot of this, it's in Utah. What's big in Utah?
Okay.
The Mormons.
Both
of the guys in charge of Bricks and Minifigs are Mormon. The entire police force essentially is Mormon. Mormons stand together and Mormons protect themselves. And that's kind of what's going on here with a lot of this. And the most recent development is that Ben has Part 3, but he can't release it. And listen, Reckless Ben, he did another one that's really cool. If you want to go down a rabbit's nest, is he tried to take down McCamey Manor. And I'm sure you know all about McCamey Manor, that extreme haunted house and Russ McCamey and all this. Dude, that's another thing you should look into. It's actually pretty fascinating.
The rabbit's nests that I spend my time in are not the ones you spend your time in.
No, they are not.
Vendickygram does not intersect as much as you may think it does.
But my opinion of the whole situation is this, and I don't want to make this, it's corporate greed, it's this. I think it's just people don't want to admit when they're wrong. Bricks and Minifigs is in the wrong, and they've messed up a lot of times because they've been like, well, we do have them. Well, we don't have them. But if you want them back, you got to do this. What are you talking about? We don't have them. It's just like, it's just when you keep doubling down, it's never a good result. Terrible.
That's the truth, man. I don't know. I'm surprised there's a Part 2. I saw a 1-minute clip of him saying that Part 3 was done, but it wasn't. He couldn't release it because he might be going to jail. But I also didn't know why he needed a lawyer in Utah when everything was going on between California and Oregon. But now that I know Part 2 is where
because they're based in Utah, and then that's where they're trying to get him, is like traveling from state to state and doing all this. But it's like I know I say crazy a lot. It's kind of a crutch that I have, but the revelations that are going on in this entire story are just off the wall. And I'm locked in I wish I would have started paying attention to it a lot sooner.
Man, I don't know. Like this sets a dangerous precedent, and not necessarily dangerous for you and I, but dangerous for these corporations that have been hiding behind this language and this runaround and all of that. Because if just some guy with a YouTube channel can take down this company and do justice, then what's stopping the rest of us? What's the next thing? I mean, not bricks and minifigs. Maybe it's Walmart. Maybe it's something massive.
Yeah.
We don't know. But I mean, all you need is that first stepping stone. Look at what you can do to radicalize a whole generation. Sometimes it's not that big of a thing, man.
Yeah, it really it blows your mind, and it really makes you think. But I don't know, man. We could spend, or I could anyway, just talking about this whole thing and like laying out the entire story. But man, Ben is the one that really needs the support. Go over to his channel, because like he's fighting the good fight. He's the one that's really trying here. And go watch his video on it. Go watch if you don't want to commit to it, just go watch a synopsis breakdown. Go watch any of it, man. Cause I'm telling you, this story, like it at first glance, and that's really what I was like, I don't care about this. And then I find out what's really going on. And then I'm like, oh, I might want to pay attention to this. And as we stated, this is going to make a good Netflix documentary in a few years. Like, will it be a train wreck documentary, which we all know I love the train wreck documentaries, or is it going to be its own standalone documentary? I mean, you look at that one that just came out on Netflix called The Crash, and I've not watched. I started it and I didn't finish it. I got busy, but that's another one. Like, people talk about. I love a documentary that kind of comes off the wall, like it's a subject that you don't really think about.
Yeah.
This one's perfect, because not everyone is going to want to go on YouTube and watch a reckless Ben. They're going to, I would like to see the statistics of how many people watch Netflix compared to YouTube, which I'm sure they're probably vastly different, but you're just scrolling through Netflix and then you're like, what's this documentary about? And then it's like, oh my God, you can make a docu-series of this and it would be, I'd be in. The
Netflix algorithm is a little bit different than the YouTube one. The YouTube one goes by the things that you've watched. Netflix really just goes by what they've produced recently.
Yeah.
And then the older stuff, of course, it's what your style is, but everything that they have brand new, it's front page. And I know with my algorithm on YouTube, Reckless Ben wasn't going to pop up on that.
Yeah.
It did for you, and you sent it over to me. And of course, the first thing I tell you is like, brother, why is everything you send me multiple hours long? Like I send you a 30-second clip and you respond with, like 9 seconds later. You're like, hey, I watched that one. but
I do watch them.
Well, I don't know that. It doesn't feel like it. I don't feel validated, okay?
Oh, well, maybe I'll validate you on Paid Show, which is where we're getting ready to roll into here. Listen,
sounded sexual too.
Look,
I didn't like that.
Look into this bricks and minifigs thing, man, because I'm telling you, this is absolutely a fascinating story. I think it's one that we really need to be paying attention to, not just because it's wacky and it's about Lego and it's all this other stuff. No, like there's some deep corruption that's going on with this one that I really think that more people need to be paying attention to. But that's going to do it for this edition of Spot Show. Thank you to everyone who listened. We're trying out this new format here, and boy, did it kind of go off the rails because of some technical issues. But hey, you know what?
You're gonna put your editing shoes on, and it's gonna feel seamless.
You're not even
nobody's gonna notice, but we'll know. We'll know how everything fell apart.
Yes. You can of course find me on Instagram at DWobsEditBay. You can find me on Letterboxd at DWobs with a Z. You can find Jason V in an AOL chat room somewhere, I am sure. The big plug ski, though, patreon.com/MadBash Studios. We're getting ready to jump into paid show over there on the Patreon. But if you are not on the Patreon, we will see everyone down the road on some form of content.